Cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap News Network.
I was with Big Trapper.
I fucks with you.
Warning, this video is for satire, educational, and comedy use only. It is not intended to be actual fact, nor is it intended to give real meaning to any of the questions you ponder about late night.
You know, No Jumper has been a flu, flam, a skull dug, and a larceny. That's what we do know. If you enjoy this video, you enjoy this type of video, make sure you go to Trap Lord Ross page. Make sure you give him a like, comment, subscribe for everything he has going on. Make sure you tap in with him. No Jumper, that building has been a building that's been building. We'll just say that to say the least. Let's see what Trap Lord Ross.
Jumper has developed a reputation as a pipeline that takes figures from the gangbanging world of the LA streets to being entertainers, podcasters, and rappers. But unfortunately, as we see time and time again, not everybody makes it to the promised land of podcast glory. In fact, over the past few years, an unsettling number of hosts, affiliates, and regular faces connected to No Jumper have ended up tied to serious criminal cases. This has created endless rumors online, with people making ridiculous claims that real law enforcement, the FBI, the ATF, the CIA must be heavily monitoring or even are the ones operating the No Jumper podcast studio.
Now, I ain't saying that No Jumper's a police, but what I am saying is y'all niggas go to jail a lot over there. Like an awful lot.
Many people pushing the wild theory that the owner, Adam22, might just be a full-blown federal agent. Anyway, there's no real evidence that ties No Jumper to the feds. That's just the reality of hosting and offering opportunities to so many figures that have got ties to the real-life streets and gangs. Criminal gang.
Now, that is true. That is true. But at the same time, kind of makes you wonder, how does this situation just continue to occur over and over and over again with seemingly no retribution?
Have historically abided by the principle of omerta, a code of silence. But that was a long time before things like drill music or podcasts became a thing. Nowadays, besides drill rappers like King Von and Lil Durk, who use real-life crimes in their music as an important part of building their brands, there's a whole lineup of podcasts focused on hip-hop culture that blur the lines between entertainment and real gang politics. The likes of DJ Vlad interviewing the most infamous rappers, athletes, gangsters, mobsters, and mafiosos, and most importantly, the No Jumper podcast, which made stars of gang-affiliated larger-than-life personalities like Crip Mac and 4Extra. One of the most infamous hosts of No Jumper in recent years is Rollin 60s member Brick Baby. His crazy stories from the streets of LA all the way to Atlanta, where he tapped in with some of the most famous rappers and trappers in America, made him one of LA's most beloved podcasters. Brick Baby had a years-long come-up as a podcaster on No Jumper, while also juggling his rap career and dropping numerous songs and music videos, some of which I made cameos in.
I can see why people could be upset with Trap Lord Ross, because he makes it sound so sinister. Like, even with the music behind it, it's like, God damn, it's like a scary movie with Michael Myers behind me. He makes it sound so sinister. Like, I don't know if it's an accent. I'm not sure what it is, but something about it make it seem like you niggas finna go to jail. Like, golly.
Become friendly with Brick during appearances on the No Jumper podcast myself, but according to the criminal complaint, before Brick Baby went all in on podcasting, he was still connected to street activity. The criminal complaint would paint a picture of Brick Baby still ripping and running in the streets of LA and paying percentages of robberies he was involved in directly to Big U. However, this wasn't the only suspicious street activity that would come back to haunt Brick during his podcast arc. He was also connected to the ambush on rapper Quando Rondo in August of 2022. Quando, who had $1 million bounty on his head after Chicago drill rapper King Von was shot dead in a fight with Quando's entourage, would visit Los Angeles and be ambushed by masked shooters who had flown all the way from Chicago to kill Quando on behalf of Lil Durk, allegedly. But things went wrong, and they ended up killing his cousin Lil Pab, real name Savia Robinson, by mistake. But to make matters much...
Now, this was probably a bad thing for Brick to say on camera. They say you can't say Slide for Von no more because of Lil Pab, you know, kind of implying that a body was caught, a flu, flam, a skull dug, and a larceny was hit as a result of. But this is why people will say that No Jumper's a police, because it provided the platform for Brick Baby to have such a reckless slip of the tongue, for lack of better words. And it just kind of makes you wonder, is it the No Jumper curse, or is it a lack of responsibility on Brick Baby's part when it comes to what should and shouldn't be said on camera and what should and what shouldn't be discussed on camera.
Worse and more complicated, Brick Baby and Big U's names were brought up into the mix immediately. Quando's tragic situation was allegedly the culmination of a multi-year back and forth with Big U himself, as Quando Rondo also reps the Rollin 60s Crips, but is part of a set that branched off in his native city of Savannah, Georgia. This means that he's not a direct member of LA's Rollin 60s Crips, but there's a connection, and as a result, he seemed to have a relationship with Big U and always looked up to him. As mentioned, besides Big U allegedly using his charity as an extortion vehicle, he would more famously be a big proponent of the idea of checking in. Interestingly, Quando had numerous interactions with Big U in the lead up to this tragic incident that took his cousin's life. Big U has claimed on The Breakfast Club that Quando actually reached out to him for protection and suggested that despite claiming Rollin 60s, Quando had never showed him love until he began having problems with Lil Durk after King Von's death.
All this looks really bad in hindsight. Like, social media is pretty much taking down like some pretty powerful figures in hip hop, criminal underworld, and all of the above. If you're gonna be involved in this type of activity, you just gotta really stay off the internet. I think that's just what it all comes down to.
Quando Rondo, I just showed envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot. You didn't f me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number. You could have called me. You could have did all that.
This elicited a response from Quando, who denied ever calling Big U for protection, instead saying that he was only asking how he could give back to his community.
Once called nobody, no on planet Earth for no protection. Because I don't fear no man. Why would I wait to get us? Anybody that I ever called, I call on some like, how can I help? How can I do this? How can I do that? I never called no person on planet Earth for protection.
Big U would address Quando and hint towards
None of this aged well.
extortion, repeatedly saying that unless there's a donation for his organization, he's not interested.
Yeah. So I'm addressing this little thing with young nephew with Quando. First of all, I never talked to Quando. You know, it ain't nothing but love with Quando. Nephew reaching out to do something for the kids, definitely do that. Because I never talked to him. He just asked me if somebody reached out. I just feel like I know cuz and I've been knowing him. And I never heard from him after we had a conversation maybe a year and a half ago. No, maybe 2 years ago. And then, so when he called me, I'm only on positive vibes. I'm going to pull up on cuz or he can pull up on me.
A month later, Big U would appear on No Jumper in an interview where he seemingly apologized to Quando and indicated that there had been a miscommunication.
Man, this is where you enter the no jumper curse right here.
These beefs just sort of spiral out of control, whereas it might have been more isolated.
I can't understand it because somebody got to be a man at some point and say they was wrong. Like as far as Quando Rondo, I was wrong for saying it, but he was wrong for not reaching to his homeboy. And then on the same line that I reached out to you, you reached back out to me on it. You know what I'm saying? But I apologize to my homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
It seemed that within a month of this back and forth, dues had been paid, and Quando would appear as the first guest on Big U's ominously titled Checking In podcast. Big U would start the podcast off by welcoming Quando to LA.
Checking in for my young fella Quando. Yeah, man. What's up, young fella? Is you in California, huh?
You dig?
You see? You know what I'm saying?
Land.
Man, I'm glad to have you, man.
Well, this doesn't look like the relationship of two people who don't care for each other. Seems pretty comfortable.
Would seemingly patch over their past feud by exchanging mutual apologies, with Big U elaborating that his nephew had vouched for Quando, who had told Big U that he did Quando wrong.
When I told him, as a man, my little homie called me, and he told me, Unc, you was wrong. But I'm going to say I was wrong, too, because you said I was wrong. You know what I mean? And as a man, like I told them, I know when I'm going to apologize because I'm supposed to be a bigger person. You know what I mean?
Big U would also specify that he had never asked for any money from Quando for checking in, explaining that their dispute was purely over a misunderstanding.
Every city I go to, I check in with somebody, bro. And that's what it's about. Because people think that...
Well, checking in doesn't have to mean extortion. It just means that, you go to somebody's city that's not your own, and, you got love for that person got love for you. You might not know the temperature of what's going on. It doesn't even have to be like as far as like the streets or anything concerned. It could just be like the temperature, just what's going on in the city. Because you come to LA, think that you smooth in Hollywood, not knowing that 4 people just got robbed out there last weekend. Things can change up, situation can change up, and that has nothing to do with gang banging or gang affiliation. That's just monitoring and being, cognizant of where you are and the temperature of where you are, the temperament of where you are. So I don't think there's anything wrong with checking in. I think that that's, not like on the list of like, oh my gosh, you feel me? People make it seem like, oh, you a buster if you check in and all that kind of stuff. I think it's more of a safety protection issue. If you're a guest within somebody's city, I wouldn't understand why you wouldn't want to like talk to said person about the goings on in their city. Should you be there? Let me know what you think in the comments.
I'm a bully and I cancel money. I get money. I ain't never asked you for not one dime. Not one dime.
Big U would also explain the process of checking in with the Rollin 60s, explaining exactly what a rapper coming to LA should expect.
Because you might check in with me. I'm going to tell you what clubs to go to and what clubs not to go to. I'm going to tell you where the bad is, and I'm going to tell you where the is. I'm going to tell you who got the good, how to get the sack. You got dudes come out all the time, buy a sack, and getting robbed. They ain't dealing with the right people.
What now seems rather ironic, Quando would immediately join in on praising the process of checking in, saying how people have completely misunderstood what it means.
Hopefully this interview opened everybody's eyes on the check-in part. Like, that's not on nothing negative.
However, a year later, Quando Rondo would visit LA again, where according to the OT...
Trap Lord Ross is painting a cold picture, ain't he?
The indictment, Chicago rapper Lil Durk and his team got word from an unnamed...
And for those of you guys who don't know, Lil Tim, who is one of Quando Rondo's homies, Rollin 60 out of Savannah, Georgia, is who knocked down King Von. You know, King Von is Durk's homie, which will put the 127 like Sierra onto Quando Rondo. You feel me? That all being said, they was in Atlanta. Situation popped off. King Von fired on King Von fired on Quando Rondo, and Quando Rondo's homie knocked King Von down in the parking lot at I think it was called the Marquee at the time, downtown Atlanta. It was a crazy night.
Source in LA, known in the indictment as co-conspirator number 4, that Quando was indeed staying in the city. They would get his location and follow him around, eventually ambushing him at a gas station where his cousin Lil Pab was killed. Now, interestingly, speculation circulated that the Rollin 60s were the ones who tipped off the Chicago hit squad to Quando's location, with a particular accusation that Brick Baby was the one responsible, due to him apparently being the Rollin 60s member with the closest ties to Lil Durk. Brick would also openly claim to not like Quando in an August 2021 No Jumper interview, calling him out for claiming Rolling 60s and trying to get Big U and the LA Crips to try and squash his beef with Lil Durk and the Black Disciples, saying that he needs to check in every time he comes to LA.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
It seems none of this is going to play out well at all. None. See, Trap Lord Ross, that's why they be on you, bro. This why they be on TLR, Trap Lord Ross. This why they be on you, bro. Because this right here make it seem like it's more than a flu flam of foot, my boy.
Then you claiming it, you ain't providing for this. Come on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Quando Rondo.
You're not fucking him.
Boy, stop.
What is it?
Boy,
Explain.
stop it. Don't come to the 60s.
What is it? Explain. It's sick.
And want to provide now that brought them on your ass. You get what I'm saying? Like we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
At all. We not doing none of that.
Well, that's gotta be weird for you because you've Dirk so much.
It ain't weird for me.
Yeah.
It ain't weird for me at all. Just say, you know what I'm saying? You're not from Rolling 60s.
Oh, really?
You're not from LA Rolling 60s. You're not from Rolling 60s.
Right.
On the hood. We didn't make that call. But you didn't put that on the board like you finna make this play. On the hood. We didn't make that call.
But didn't Big U and him kind of squash it at a certain point, I feel like?
You gotta come talk to the streets.
Big U's a little removed from a lot of it.
Nah, he is the streets. You
Right.
gotta come talk to the people who feet in the streets. You gotta come clear yourself on both angles.
Rick would be seen in the studio.
Yeah. Now that people are in jail for this, now that indictments are coming down for this, just kind of makes you wish that these kind of conversations never happened on No Jumper. But then again, would it be the No Jumper curse if it happened anywhere else? If these situations happened anywhere else, would it be the No Jumper curse? Probably not.
With Lil Durk in the months before the shooting, and days after the murder of Lil Pab, Brick Baby would post on social media telling Quando he's a fake Crip for not checking in with him and giving them money and guns.
From out of town, and you banging the hood from California, you're an imitation gangbanger if you do not check in. If you do not make sure your hood is funded, you don't make sure your hood got blicks, if you don't make sure your hood got sticks and the kids is eating over there, a couple put you down with the play family is straight, you're an imitation because A motherfucker don't deal with the same enemies we deal with in LA.
However, Brick Baby would then bizarrely go on to do a series of interviews.
Yeah, man, just not the best thing. A to Z, what's the deal, man? Just breaking down this no jumper curse, man. Trap Lord Ralston put together a pretty good piece of work. So we just breaking it down like a pound. You feel me? You know how I go. Breaking it down like a pizzon. Breaking it down, baby. Pound for baby.
Speaking on the situation directly, he would tell Cam Capone News that Quando was smart to try and squash the beef with Big U.
But it was a great move for him, like, to go check in with the big dog, because that's our big dog. So you trying to get him to soften up the people that's around your age and, you know what I'm saying, still outside. He's still outside too, but you get what I'm saying, to soften it up for us.
Around a month after the shooting, Brick Baby would be seen on social media flexing bundles of cash and releasing a new song with OTF artist C3, a track called Bricklato, a track which heard C3 rapping that people claiming 60s will see the real 60s getting at them and that someone is dropping their location so the ops can pull up. This was followed with songs like the April 2023 banger Not Enough, where Brick raps how his gang received over $1 million for their last body. Million, of course, being the exact number that Lil Durk had allegedly put on Quando's head. However, for the record, no real proof has ever surfaced definitively showing that Brick had any part in what happened to Quando, and I was quite convinced that Brick was simply making the most of this unsubstantiated rumor just to promote his rap career. But as time went on, more hints would be dropped about the 60s being involved in the incident. Particularly telling was Quando denouncing his Rollin 60s neighborhood Crip membership in an online post where Quando says that he's no longer part of the gang and that he's laying his blue bandana down, specifically mentioning how it makes no sense for him to be part of the Rollin 60 neighborhood Crips since they mess with his opposition, essentially inferring that someone from the LA Rollin 60s had set him up to get shot out in LA on behalf of Lil Durk, with Quando saying that it doesn't take rocket science to see what's going on, and ending the message by saying that he's...
Man, imagine your homies backdooring you and then put it on social media. Sheesh. You get backdoored by your homie, and then you get put on social media. Double win.
Now just going to focus on his family and loved ones. Big U's nephew, Tiny Draws, reacted to Quando's post, pointing out that this essentially happened to Quando because he failed to show respect to the Rollin 60s in LA, pointing out that Quando refused to check in, so they didn't check out and look out for him, as well as saying that there's only one way out of the gang, seemingly alluding to Quando getting killed, and saying that if he had shown the 60s love...
Oh man, he wasn't alluding to nothing like that. We're not gonna say nothing like that. He wasn't alluding to nothing like that. There was no allusions or alludings or anything like that, man. No. That's not what it is, man. That's not what it is.
Love like he shows love to people like NBA Youngboy, then maybe things might have been different, claiming that Quando was disloyal and that the streets don't play fair. After the LA assassination attempt on Quando that claimed his cousin's life, Big U appeared on social media, seemingly taking a dig at Quando by saying that if he took a loss, he wouldn't leave his gang behind, and there would be no crying from him.
Imagine all the dudes, and when the storm came, they folded their tent, they went inside, or they shut down. No, that ain't what no real do. When it get hard for me, I get quiet, I get still, because I need to hear all the doors is open. I said I welcome the challenge. When it get hard, I welcome it. I look for it.
Later on, Big U appeared in a video seemingly celebrating a deal with FX relating to that 2021 show Hip Hop Uncovered, telling the audience that he's celebrating while smoking a cigar to the camera.
It's really just a celebration.
Now, things can be going great, man. TV show going on. You finna start working with FX. That's a beautiful thing. And it's a shame that a flu flam just had to be afoot and take the attention away from that, because we never did get that show. That show probably would have been dope, man. That probably would have been something great for the culture. But anytime these things happen and these guys start going to jail, ultimately we as the fans lose. You know what I'm saying? Of course they lose. They end up in jail and all that kind of stuff. But just looking at it from a outside looking in perspective, you know, just from a viewer perspective, man, we lose because we lose on so many great pieces of television and so many great, you know, impactful things to our culture that just never come about.
I don't drink. I got this as a gift from a production company for the success we had with Hip Hop Uncovered. Just thought I'd kick it with y'all and chop it up. I don't smoke, but I do get to celebrate. Good things do happen to good people.
Big U would continue to smoke, telling viewers that he's been finishing projects for years and having a celebratory smoke for a reason that he can't tell people about, as well as congratulating young men who have completed projects with him, leading to speculation that he was speaking with a double meaning.
I heard somebody said the problem with Big U is he don't complete nothing.
been completing these projects for years. It's all smoke. But this here, I'm just going to throw this up on the story. It's just a little celebration and only we know what it's about. Congratulations to the successful things I have done with these young men and young women alike too. It's just a celebration. Y'all will probably ask what, but I ain't gonna say it.
But it was Brick Baby that would have people really concerned.
Now, that could be anything. That could be talking about like a football program. That could be talking about school programs. Because we're not going to pretend like we don't know that Big U does do a lot of street advocacy and a lot of things for his community. Say what you want about him, hate him or love him, don't care for him, whatever your business. Can't act like what he was doing for the kids wasn't real. You can't act like the football program wasn't real. So with that being said, since he has been gone, that football program for the kids has been, all but lost. So, I mean, you can feel how you want to feel, say what you want to say. The positives are the positive as the negatives are the negatives.
When he would outright say in a No Jumper interview with Poetic Flacco that people can no longer tell Lil Durk that he has to slide for Von because of the murder of Quando's cousin, Lil Pab.
He did something. Oh, slide for him. Oh, you oh, yeah.
Slide for Von, right?
Nobody...
Yeah.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh, yeah, because of... Wait, no. Like, who died?
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FVG Cash? Or who?
Nah, because Lil Pab.
Oh!
Brick would go on to say...
See, now that right there was something that he shouldn't have said. You feel me? He should have just kept it super quiet.
That Quando has to lay in the bed that he made by not showing love to the Rollin 60s in LA.
You should have been doing the right thing from off the rip. That's what they say. The bed, you gonna lay in the bed that you make.
He would also note that Quando was done for beefing with Durk, who has $20 to $30 million to his name.
That just signed the deal for like 20-30 million, Durk, right?
Yes.
Who the f want to beef with Cuz for you? Too much money, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, listen, man.
Don't beef with rich people.
Don't beef with rich people, man. Unless you're gonna slide, and you don't need to say nothing out loud. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, point blank, period. Don't put that bag of thing on your head.
These bold comments called...
See, yeah, all this right here could be considered just a little bit too much talking. This could be considered a little bit too much conversation. This could be a little bit extra out, man. And again, it's just taking place at the No Jumper podcast studio. And no, you can't blame Adam 22 for what Brick Baby said because these are Brick Baby's words. But at the same time, people always will say, well, what is it about Adam 22 that makes these people get so honest? It's like, do you just have like honest guys? You know, they have laughing guys. Do you have like honest guys that come to these vents? Like, because I don't understand why people sit on these couches and then just go crazy with telling on themselves.
Caused a shock on Twitter from other apparent Rollin 60s members, and Brick Baby would later deny that his comments were self-snitching, reaffirming that he had nothing to do with the shooting and was just parroting what was already being said on the internet.
Like I said, I already knew I was out of town when it happened. The police, first of all, Traveler Ross and all these other detectives, and I'm not shout out Traveler Ross though, because he ain't doing nothing but just making this content. You know what I'm saying? If you were that in public to get caught doing a murder to where he can put it together without being a police, kind of. I put in this song with me and C3 that was going to get released a month before it happened, and it say some like it was some viral, like the video went kind of crazy. I think he said something, we had a real 60s get at you or something like that. But we recorded this damn near 6-7 months before this anyway. So, but it was somebody else.
Yeah, really bad timing. Like the absolute worst timing, I guess.
Yeah, and then Durk was in the video. I was flashing money and all that. Name one person that's gonna give. Where is the million at?
The rumor was that there was $1 million on Quando Rondo's head, and that as a result, that there's a lyric that Brick has on another song where he says,
"We charge a quarter for a pack of 100's not enough." And I said, the last turned the fact,
we got $1 million plus.
Yeah, because on the internet they were saying that I took 100,000 from Durk and I signed the OTF and I had to do a hit for it. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, man, we charge a quarter for a pack. Like, you can't pay me $100,000 to kill nobody. Like, I'm charging $1 million plus. You know how much it costs for to get out of jail after a murder? I'm really popping it.
Ultimately, despite the bombshell indictment of Lil Durk and a handful of other...
Yeah, and again, as this situation has led to now we know people are incarcerated and a lot of flammery, skullduggery, and larceny with these dudes now sitting in a federal penitentiary. Maybe we shouldn't have said this.
But alleged co-conspirators for murder for hire in October 2024, it still appears that Brick was not officially involved and he's not been formally charged in relation to this incident. But this was a major incidence of street activity surfacing on a podcast for all to see. And the eventual criminal complaint against Big U would indeed reference what happened to Quando directly, with a wiretapped conversation observing Big U saying what happened to Quando was a direct result of not checking in. So all of this was going on behind the scenes, but at the same time, the likes of Brick Baby and Loose Cannon were jumping in podcast studios, letting small details slip. However, if there was one person who was truly a danger to Big U with a microphone in front of him, it would be WACK100. Another infamous gang-related figure in LA politics, Big U always had a strange relationship with WACK100, who was arguably the red bandana-rocking Pyru counterpart to Big U's blue rag-rocking Crip persona. Both OG status...
Yeah, not really, but okay. I see why you could think that. Not really true, because Wack's a flammer, a skulldugger, and a larcener, but okay.
LA street legends with a formidable reputation in the streets and the industry, WACK100 and Big U have had some disagreements in the past, like in 2019, when a leaked audio would have Wack implying that Eric Holder did what he was supposed to do as a gangster.
It's a harsh reality, but we stepping out of civilization into the jungle of gangbanging. Because the alleged gunman, right? When it comes to the rules of engagement of gangbanging, he did what he was supposed to do when another gangbanger calls you a or a snitch. You're supposed to handle your business, and can't nobody say that's wrong.
Given what Nipsey was reportedly accusing him of, this would cause some controversy in the media, as many would see Wack to be defending Holder's actions and excusing Nipsey's murder. Big U would then seemingly have a conversation with WACK100 behind the scenes, after which Wack would post what appeared to be an apology on his social media. Not long after, Wack and his artist Blueface would appear on the No Jumper podcast, where Wack would provide more context to his earlier comments.
He puts it out there like I said some horrible crazy, right?
Right.
But he's playing the subscriber follow game. You notice he's been saying, come subscribe, and I'm going to let it out. It's been like 2-3 weeks of subscribe, and he's going to let it out. So what I did was call Reggie Rice's platform, and just everything I said to Reggie.
Now, when it comes to this accusations and all the disrespect that Wack had towards Nip, it's almost been like 3 or 4 years by now, and we've yet to see anything that Wack was alleging about Nipsey Hussle. He said that he had these tapes on him, he was this, he was that, trying to say that he was bad people's. We've yet to see anything that can prove this point. We just seen a bunch of lies, flammery, skullduggery, and larceny from Wack, for real.
Right. So now what you gonna put out? Listen, I'm not a gangbanger anymore. I've been gangbanged in like over 20 years, meaning I haven't woke up and hated the Crip or seen a dude in blue and wanted to do something to him because I thought he was a Crip.
Really?
Right? That's gangbanging, right? So I'm from where I'm from. That's gonna always be that, right? So I understand gang culture. Gang culture is different from the religious culture, which is different from, the Jewish culture. Every culture is different. And in that jungle, the rules change. Now, are the rules irrational? Damn right. Are they right? Probably not. But these are the rules of this jungle. And it's been like that 50, 60 years, right? In this situation, you have a rapper and you have a dude that's a straight, authentic gang member. His whole life are these blocks. It's all he know. And in the culture of gangbanging, when you call a motherfucker a snitch,
Well, here's the thing. It's, when it's all said and done, you got to look at it in totality. Wack is actually named by Big U's lawyer as an informant in his current case. So with that being said, there's nothing that you can really say or, do in looking back at it in hindsight as it falls in relation to this type of content that won't really absolve him from actually being exactly what he's always portrayed himself to, by his street definition, the street terms, despise, but actually truly is.
When you call somebody these things in this jungle, is no different than you being a football player and going on the field without your helmet on. You're gonna get hit.
however also giving Big U props for starting Nipsey's career. He would also say that the love that Nipsey was getting after his death was fake, and that Nipsey wasn't getting praise like that or being called a legend while he was still alive, and that he objectively was not a legend during his life based on the numbers.
Right. If it wasn't for Big U, y'all wouldn't know the Nipsey Hussle of today. So what I'm saying is you got a man who died with 1 million followers and no radio hit and no platinum plaques. But because everybody started talking like it was a goddamn Popeye's chicken sandwich, everybody jumped on the back.
This is where you can start seeing like WACK100. This is where he started disassociating with Big U. And this is where Wack started outwardly showing his hatred for the Rollin 60s.
Bandwagon.
Right.
And now he didn't win 10, 20 times platinum. The radio is spinning his song. Come on, bro. How long did they spin his song?
Right.
All day, every hour. Nipsey had like 2, 3 songs I felt should have went. Last time I checked, like it was great records.
Right.
Right. Bullets ain't got no name. Great records.
Yeah.
Why in the and this rumor about him being independent, that's some bullshit. Like, look, it's idiots. If you scroll down to the iTunes, it says Atlantic Records.
Right.
Right.
I'm gonna sit here.
So now
that's on one album or maybe like 2 albums, and then you have all his actual independent projects. So I'm not really sure again why Wack pushed that false narrative. I'm not really sure why he had so much animosity and so much hatred in his heart when it came to that situation. But the reality of the situation is that's just not the actual truth.
he has a machine behind him. So where was all these fans like Blueface? He got platinum plaques. Hold on, no. You know why he got platinum plaques? Because his fans followed him. They supported him. They streamed, they download, things of that nature. Nipsey's never been on a...
The crazy thing about that is there's nothing about Blueface's career that ever compares to the actual legacy and the tangibility of what Nipsey Hussle's career did. Nipsey Hussle's career is continuing to live past his life expectancy, past his actual physical presence. Should Blueface deceased right now, we just have Krishan Rock and Stewie Griffin as 2 baby mamas.
World tour. Why? He did not die an A-list artist. That's real. Y'all talking about he was a legend. If he was a legend, why y'all didn't treat him like that while he was here?
Adam would also ask Wack about his phone call with Big U, with Wack responding by lashing out against people who were attacking Big U after Nipsey's death with the conspiracies about him being involved, before giving Big U more praise about his role in Nipsey's career.
What was the phone call with Big U like after those headlines started popping up about that leaked audio?
Oh, we always talk about our white kids, what business ventures we doing next, and things of that nature. Like, you know, we don't have that type of conversation about, they even attacked him. That was a weird, they last thing was Big U was honoring him at one of his events. So people make it look like Big U and Nipsey was enemies, all conspiracies and all this crazy.
Right.
And the world wouldn't know who Nipsey Hussle was in the magnitude that he was in if it wasn't for Big U.
Right.
During 2020, Wack and Big U would do several major podcasts together, and the two were seemingly on cordial terms. Unfortunately, the following year, there was seemingly starting to be some more serious disagreements, with Big U implying on his Checking In podcast how he was disagreeing with a lot of things that Wack had been doing lately.
Yeah, I just like to call this guy from Wack. You know what I mean? I disagree with a lot of things he's doing right now.
Because Wack started to conduct himself like a fool. It could have been cool. It could have been quiet. It could have been to the point. It could have been direct. It could have been easy going. But Wack had to turn into something that it wasn't. Wack had to make it into a flu, flam, a skull, dug, and a larceny.
When you get to the point where I can't reach out and talk to you and try to correct you, like, look, we're trying to go on this path, I got to remove myself. I don't mind being chastised. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm bigger than the program. And so what people don't understand is that sometimes people can get to that point.
Meanwhile, Loose Cannon, who was still at this point cool with Big U, would release a diss song to Wack in September 2021 titled Cookout, aka Wack, I Know You're Saying Talking, as well as dissing Wack and calling him a rat on his YouTube channel whilst walking around Wack's old stomping grounds in Pacoima and saying that Big U runs the West.
So it's like, Wack, it's like you do all this internet thugging and acting like you just so turned up, putting it on power rule this, power rule that. Nobody seen you do nothing. And beat up a kid that was don't fit in Miami. What's that name? Stitches. Like,
Isn't it crazy that Loose Cannon and Wack started off beefing, they got cool and then ended out beefing? How you started is how you finish, face ass?
Bro, you did some bus rash and then you acting like you got clout. Then you paid $2 to act like they KKK, but was construction workers, and you paid them $150. All that cloud chasing don't equal up to real, bro. We on real time. Like you talking about, let's get down. You don't want to get down with the low, nigga. And you could put that on power root. I bet you on any dollar. You don't want to get down with the low. No, you staring death in his eyes. That's why you want to run with some cowards. Oh, let me call Big U. Let me do this. He don't with you. He's a. He don't with rats. He don't with rat lovers. He don't doing police.
As Luce would explain in a podcast at the time, his beef with Wack started from the producer Marley Marl allegedly scamming $50K from Luce that was meant to go towards getting a feature from the rapper Offset. This led to Luce allegedly beating Mally up and filming the confrontation. This would lead to Wack, who's Mally's friend,
damn, how Offset get involved,
to have a problem with Luce, which would then escalate into a full-blown beef.
Yeah, so when I did that, WACK100 was going around talking about, yeah, we don't with Luce Cannon. He did this to Marley Marl. Cuz can't go back to his hood and stuff like that. I'm like, you in Palmdale, Lancaster ass. Like, come on, cuz, like, I'm in the hood every day. Like, bro, what you talking about?
In June 2022, Wack would appear on the Dub C and CJ Mack Show podcast, where CJ Mack would question Wack about all the enemies that he'd been.
Wack has never been allowed to do nothing like that ever since. Ever since, all these dudes have stepped away from Wack. Because I forgot that he was on the CJ Mack and Dub C podcast, and them niggas got away from him.
Making, with Wack responding that there's only one person who he wishes things could have been different with, and that's Big U.
It's probably only one person out of everything you've been seeing going on that I wish it could have been different.
Right. Right. It's all good.
Right?
It's all good. Yeah.
And that's Big U.
Despite there clearly being some heavy tension between the two, Wack would show him a lot of love during the podcast, saying that he just can't see Big U as an...
Because he couldn't sit on that podcast and disrespect Big U because one of them two ninjas, if not both of them two ninjas, would have checked him. So that's Wack submitting to the environment that is. You can't sit in front of these two dudes and disrespect Big U and think that they're going to just sit there and tolerate the disrespect.
Enemy due to their past friendship.
Because I can't mentally see him as my enemy.
Right.
I don't think really in his heart, he ain't gonna let nothing happen to me. It's too deep.
Never mind. We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
That's like,
right.
I couldn't face his wife or his children.
Yeah.
Right. Knowing I was played a part in anything that had anything, that's just not happening.
But Big U would respond back, saying that he's accepting no apologies from people calling him out.
I don't really address a lot of said on the internet, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna address this, and I'm gonna address this fast and quick. I heard about the little CJ Mack and Dub C interview with that guy. I don't accept no apology for no disrespect my name, disrespect my family, and call me on my name. I ain't cool with nothing. I ain't cool with that CJ Mack. I ain't cool with that Dub C. I ain't cool with none of that, man. And that's all I got to say on that.
Unfortunately for Wack, it seemed that behind the scenes things would reach a boiling point. On the 8th of July 2022, Wack's longtime artist The Game was performing at LA venue The Novo for the release of...
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was going to say. Right there is what I was talking about and what I was referring to is when them dudes got up on Wack and chased Wack off the stage.
Drillmatic album. At one point during the show, the crowd would go into a frenzy when Kanye walked out onto the stage, as WACK100 could be seen to the side, ushering him onto the floor. Moments before, it seemed like a scuffle was taking place.
Look at Trap Lord Ross using my content. That's right, Trap Lord Ross. I ain't even mad at you. That's a rich trapper clip right there. That's a rich trapper clip right there. Wack getting dealt with it and roughed up backstage. I did that. Look at me.
To the side of the stage where Wack and Kanye just emerged from, with some claiming that this was actually Wack being attacked by a group of Rollin 60s, including Big U's nephew Tiny Draws. Once Kanye took to the stage, Wack would find refuge on that stage, standing in front of the crowd, where it wouldn't really be possible to continue the attack. Standing here, Wack would shake his head and whisper to another man on stage and gesture a finger to his head, seemingly indicating that there was some brain-dead activity going on. Wack, visibly sweating, seemed to gesture to someone next to him that he would be moving through the front of the stage when the performance ended. Wack would continue politicking to the person next to him and pointing around as if looking for the most effective exit route. He would scratch his chin and continue to look behind him where the issue seemed to have started.
Clearly, even Trap Lord Ross can see that Wack got whooped out. He always, nobody put their hands on me. Brother, everybody can see that you got hands put on you, brother. We could all see that you were accosted, brother.
Ye looked ready to leave the stage. Wack turned to clear his path, but in what seemed like an excruciating moment, the game would then begin to give a heartfelt speech to Ye, stopping him in his tracks. Game would then perform his classic song Dreams that was produced by Kanye, while Wack would whisper something to Ye himself. All the while, Wack would continue to look at what was going on behind him. A drummer then seemed to give him advice on the best way to get out of there, while Wack continued to look over his shoulder. Then, Lil Wayne would take the stage as Wack remained to the side, seemingly leaning
Wack got up out of there. Lil Wayne went on. Wack got off.
Back to say something to somebody. Wack remained at the side, tucked away with Ye during Wayne's performance, looking back a lot, and eventually getting into a conversation with somebody up close. At one point, even Ye would start looking concerned, and it seemed to be at this point when they agreed to leave through the front of the stage, right through the crowd. At which point, Wack took Ye by the arm and led him behind the speaker, tucked away so nobody could see where they were going. Ready to step into the crowd, notably flanked by 2 members of his entourage, Wack would jump off the pretty high stage to get into the crowd floor and exit through this crowded area. Interestingly, someone wearing a blue cap would moments later step by and peer around the speaker to see if Wack was there, but they were already gone. And seemingly after Wack had cleared the stage, during Big U's Artist Corrupts performance, Tiny Draws and other Rollin 60s would get onto the stage themselves, performing a victory crip walk. It seemed that Wack wasn't
performing a victory crip walk is sick. Now, I want to say that this is what Big U is being charged with assault with. So it's the assault comes from this night, from this clip that Trap Lord Ross is actually about to show. And right now, in actual real time, Big U has been charged by the federal government for assault on WACK100. It's not an overt act. It's an actual pending situation. And yeah, man, and it's because of what's going to happen right here. Now, before Trap Lord Ross ever introduced us to the internet, WACK100 actually told this story on No Jumper. He didn't tell an accurate, truthful version of this story, but he did tell enough of the story to where his story from No Jumper is actually a direct 1-2 step like Sierra from the federal indictment. So yeah, man, that happened.
Able to completely shake loose, however, as he would apparently be caught up with in the parking lot by a group of Rollin 60s members that included Big U himself and Tiny Draws. A confrontation would ensue, which one 60s member would seemingly film as Wack stepped out of his car with his family inside. This was posted by somebody who was there online with an incredibly self-incriminating caption saying WACK100 is a mark, begging to lift that thing up, talking about my wife and kids are here, better act like it, Buster. Someone would also post a clip showing Wack standing at the door of his car with a caption saying, the 60s is outside, dead homies. The 2025 criminal...
Now, Wack is clearly hiding behind security. Clearly.
With a caption saying...
Right there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a police officer. So you see Wack is clearly hiding behind the police. That's crazy. That's clearly Wack hiding behind the police. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious.
The 60s is outside, dead homies. The 2025 criminal complaint would reveal that a day after the incident, Big U had actually recounted the incident in a tapped conversation, claiming to have been there personally, and claiming to have cornered Wack with 15 to 20 Rollin 60 members, whilst Wack was on his own, leading to a standoff where Wack pulled a gun and pleaded with him not to attack. The Rollin 60s members would then take to social media afterwards to brag about Big U's nephew, Tiny Draws, running Wack off the stage at the Novo and knocking him out.
WACK100 got we not put on him. Talk this shit, this his town.
I'm just saying, you talked about every set.
Hold on.
Every guy.
Hold on, y'all hear they verse.
Talked about every gang, every set. Got there, got shocked out, ran to the front, and jumped off game stage. Slid out that mother. Officially a buster.
What's your version of it?
My version is, man, Tiny Draws put them bombs on it.
Hold on, we ain't doing no names now. We ain't doing no names.
He put them bombs, he got his mother head knuckled up.
Hey.
Y'all hear that?
I bet, hey, listen, he gonna remember the Novo. We don't remember nothing else in his life.
Hear that? He gonna remember what?
So he gonna remember the Novo.
And remember who?
He gonna remember. Oh, he gonna remember not to be saying things that he know he ain't supposed to.
Sick. So you don't talk about us.
A day later.
Yeah, you know what? And that's actually true. And you can see right here where he does look a little swollen. Yeah, I forgot that this is true. This is definitely true. Goodness gracious.
Wack responded saying that he wasn't beaten.
Now, I could definitely see how this could translate into Wack wanting to put the police on someone because goodness gracious.
Up and showing his face and head had no injuries, as well as hinting that the video didn't show everything that was going on in the scene, calling the situation a swing and a square off.
Knock it off, bro. Knock it off. Knock it off. Weird, bro. I don't mind you telling the truth, but stop lying. Cut the lies out. 20 that ain't nothing. Knock it off. Stop lying.
For the record, Wack later gave his own version of the incident where he suggested that, in fact, he had his own people, the same ones who left the...
So here's a situation where I said ended up with Big U catching the indictment. It was this interview that led to the federal government indicting Big U for assault on WACK100. And it's crazy because Trap Lord Ross was sitting there in real time when this conversation was had. And I'm sure at that point he was like, how can I look into this and get me some Chilion off of these niggas? Because, yeah, with that all being said. But, you know what I'm saying? This particular interview is what led to Big U being indicted for the assault on Wack.
Stage with him waiting in the sidelines and going on to say that he'd been holding a gun so powerful that it made Big U and the 6-0s stop dead in their tracks and leave. You might not want to admit this.
It's crazy because Wack has not been charged with any gun or anything like that, despite telling us multiple times that he's a felon.
You had your blower.
Okay.
You're begging him not to kill him.
Now stop right there.
Right?
Like if I got my blower and you 20 deep with hoodies and I'm by myself, right? No begging to plead. That's when you really do it, right? What do you think my mentality was? I'm
gonna get off in threes. I'm gonna get off in threes.
You not to approach me and you come to get me. And I jump out my car talking. What kind of conversation you think I'm having to make a dude say don't nobody move?
I agree with you.
Now,
I feel like
Blick talk.
I feel
third
like
dog there.
You probably
Call
was on
third
that
now.
Soulja Boy.
I'm about to expose something nobody ever knew.
Oh.
So here it goes, right?
Ground
I'm
zero.
here. All of this is a parking lot, right? I'm here. They walk down. They walk right past my car. They didn't even see me. When I seen them get here, I jumped out. Y'all looking for me?
It's not how it is. We saw the video. You were hiding behind the security guard. We just literally watched the video.
Right? They stopped. They back was to me. Y'all, I had everything I had. I could have dealt with everything in front of me. Now, what they didn't know is I'm talking to my team. Big U-Nim is here. Now watch this. Look, watch this. Big U-Nim is here. I'm here out the car. Third, who was here, and here?
Taking notes?
Hold on. Third, who in that parking lot when I'm confronting these 20 Crips was 20 to 30 feet in every direction and they didn't know it? All my homies was behind them.
That's new information.
Listen.
That's new information, man.
So listen, check this out. So when I'm letting you know, there's no need to beg nothing. What did I tell that fool? My home, they still don't know to this day that all my homies was positioned 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They didn't even see him.
Despite Wack sharing his more explosive side of the story 3 years later, at the time, people were heavily clowning Wack as blogs would report that he was knocked down. Tiny Draws would later claim responsibility for the attack and claim that Wack was...
Yeah, Wack definitely met his flu-flaming match, for sure.
Punched 3 times backstage and then ran onto the stage to avoid the 60s, as well as saying that they were aware that Wack had people with him in the parking lot and that none of them jumped out and did anything.
Yeah, Wack, your homies just kind of sat there and let it happen. They didn't really have your back. If that's your security team, you might want to, just try again.
I'm talking about two total incidents. He ain't talking about the right. Whatever happened in that garage, I don't know. Bro, that time when he went in the garage, it's like about 10 minutes prior to Cuz jumping on stage. That's the crazy part.
That guy said he was taking Kanye to the core, but ran to the core as damn still.
And no, that wasn't. That just walked from taking Kanye to the stage, and he was walking on stage, and he was walking up the stairs. Corrupt was going downstairs to go perform.
We so happened to run across cuz as he walking up, it's like how the stairs curve.
Yeah.
As soon as he walked up, the nigga got dope fiend and then got hit again. And one of the little security that was with him pump fake like he had a blower and took off running. They ran all the way.
Damn, third you ran. Damn, third you ran. That's wild and crazy and wild.
Back to the stage, chased down the hallway. They ran through their little security. Security was trying to stop us from getting on stage. He guarded them. Them was already hopping down on stage, going to their little exit, whatever their little plan was. Wherever they got out from down there on the bottom of that little stage area is exactly what I ran to. Cause when it got to his car, the show wasn't even over. DJ Quick didn't even perform yet. Gang didn't even perform yet. He left like an hour or two before the even over, and we stayed.
Yeah.
When he got to that parking garage, I can't tell you what happened. I wasn't there. But inside that, all that bullshit talking, it was 10 against 1, then 18 against 1, then 20 against 1. What incident is you talking about?
This would then lead to Tiny Draws jumping on Clubhouse with Wack to argue about the incident, with Tiny Draws arguably incriminating himself.
And this is where things kind of got bad. It's when he took it to Clubhouse because that's the Snitch headquarters. All you're going to do is tell on you. And now it's documented.
And threatening Wack and suggesting that Wack was lying since he wouldn't swear on his gang that the incident happened the way he said it did.
Put that on power.
Who is you though, bro?
This is Tiny Draws, Cash.
And I swear, that's when I started saying that niggas was getting indicted right there because Wack would have you say your real name, your hood name, what gang you was from, and he would have these dudes give the full police type outline, and boom, here we are at the indictment.
Well, what are we talking about?
We talk about what
are we talking about? What are we talking about? You tell me what we talking about. And he gets these dudes, he just talks these dudes into indictments, into, oh man, it's ugly.
What happened when you walked up them stairs? That on Pyro.
What happened?
You didn't get smacked in your head and you didn't get socked in your face.
Touch me.
Bro, put that on Pyro.
Why you nigga? You want me to
put that on Pyro?
Hey, you did you would know other
man, look, bro, put that on Pyro.
You would know
man, look, I'm not, bro.
Your uncle bitch draw got drew down on.
You put everything on Pyro. Put that on Pyro. When you came up them stairs, smack you in your head. Put that on Pyro.
My head. Where you
put that on Pyro. Put that on Pyro. You didn't run on that stage.
Took the picture with my eye circle
bro,
like it was my eye.
Bro,
so it wasn't my head or my eye. I put that on your raggedy ass mama.
Put that on Pyro, bro. That's all you got to do.
Now, for the record, his DJ Academic.
No, Wack did not ever. Legend has it, Wack never did put that on Pyro.
Reacting to the whole situation at the time, Wack jokingly pointed out the seriousness of the Clubhouse conversation, adding that Wack seemed to be isolating himself similar to 6ix9ine, but isn't rolling with enough security.
Wack, the game had a concert. Yeah, I believe the big Pyro Wack got hit, man. Do y'all believe it or not? I've always said this. First of all, I do look at Wack as somebody with tremendous respect. I've watched him over the last couple of months, though. It's been interesting. I believe that Wack has completely isolated himself away from a lot of people that we would also consider either powerful or have some type of presence on, whether it's the West Coast or, within the game. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people have said that Wack is taking the 6ix9ine approach on some.
Wack would also add that Wack rarely gets confronted in person, but his comments about the Rollin 60s Crips and Nipsey has got him into a beef with people who are really about that life.
Only thing that's on the table to protect is the artist's interest. And here's the thing. It don't seem like the game got beef with some of these people that Wack got beef with. For example,
now you don't see the Wack with the game at all. At all. Your Uncle Draws got draw down on. You know what's crazy? Right. He's admitting that he drew down on Big U, but he's not in jail. Crazy.
The dude who's arguing with Wack is saying, yo, after we punched on you, we partied with the game. They are involved with their own 60s. They seemingly feel away. I guess this Tiny Draws dude, because he said he put it on Neighborhood Grip. they feel a certain type of way about it.
Funnily enough, Brick Baby would also react to this incident too, claiming to have actually personally been there as part of that group of 60s trying to rush Wack, and making fun of Wack for escaping through the crowd and getting caught in the parking lot.
So there we were still with the cop. They had hungry. It was that deja vu game after that. 6-0. Shout out nigga, Magic, and nigga Black. What you gonna do? Weird. You carry. Weird slap. Yeah, the message was clear.
Yeah, and that's why Wack hates these dudes, because, you know, it's a constant reminder that you're a victim.
So you got pieced up, you jumped off the side of the stage. Everybody know the backstage of the Novo. You know how you got up off the stage or out the fan seat. You jumped in between the speakers. 6-0. Stop playing.
Man, bro, you a speaker jumper? You's a speaker jumper, bro?
Came out the back door, seen it, thought you saw a ghost.
The beef would continue after this incident. In September, Big U would seemingly throw more shots at Wack.
We ain't cutting no grass. You ain't cutting no grass?
No, we ain't cutting no grass.
Night wood.
Know about that Thunderdog?
Somebody said they pull up. Oh.
Pull up?
No, it's a female.
Well, she can pull up too. She can come get a picture with the champ. Listen, man, I don't think y'all know this, bro. If anybody got anything to say about the big homie, cuz I'm on him. Like I told y'all before.
You better start acting like that.
Anybody got anything to say about the big homie, I'm on him.
You better start acting like that.
And then in October 2022, Wack would explain in an interview how his relationship with Big U had gone sour, saying that it had happened after Big U and Suge Knight had contacted Wack's label, suggesting that Big U should take over all of Wack's contracts, with Suge adding that Big U was the only person in LA that Wack was scared of.
Any situation that has something to do with me, whether I knew about it beforehand or not, he was also there for me. If that's what he needed to do. The fallout, you know, once again, the two-headed snake, here comes Suge. Get a call from...
He looks like his feelings are hurt. He looks like he genuinely wants to cry.
My label. He won. They said, man, we really want to tell you this, but you know, Big U came down to see us. I'm not thinking nothing of it. He has already signed to him. So yeah, Suge on the phone. Oh, okay. Still not thinking nothing of it. Like, yeah, man, they were trying to convince me that I don't know how they thought this could work, even if I wanted to do it, to give your contracts to Big U, and Suge is saying something about this is the only guy in Los Angeles that you're scared of. Big, those words never came out of Big U's mouth. I'm not gonna put that. Came out of Suge's mouth. Oh yeah? Well, what you tell him? So I told him, man, we've been doing business with this man. He's like family. I gotta ask you to lead office. Great. So I'm kind of in the pickle. I don't know how to feel about it. So I said, all right, I'll wait a week. I wanted to see if Big U was gonna call me and tell me this happened. Hey man, I went down there, Suge had me go down there and said he was gonna go.
A whole grown gangbanger in a pickle is absolutely positively preposterous.
Negotiate a deal. He started saying some crazy. I had no idea he was gonna say this. This is what I'm hoping, right? Here. After we got on here nothing, so I called him once. Tell a few of my comrades around me at the time, they know who they are. Well, everybody know was real close at the time. What happened? I even had that call too. When we addressed and got everybody on the phone. I'm like, yo, bro, you really went to my label? And, well, no, I didn't say it. Yeah, and about you said it, but you heard it being said in favor of you against me. Because nobody could have sent me to the office saying, yo, give Wack Big U's contracts. I'm holding, go. Yo, for one, I didn't tell you to do that. Two, I'm not here for that. Three, that can't happen.
Big U would once again respond to Wack's claims, saying that he was straight up lying and that he had never even been at Wack's label office.
It come down to like the Wack situation. Is everything cool with that, or that ain't nothing?
No, you know it ain't cool. Now I can speak on that. I mean, you would ask me that.
Okay.
I only got one thing to say.
Yeah.
This lane talks about. This is the most beautiful thing. People just lie, and it kills me is how y'all allow people, not you, the people out there allow somebody to continue to tell lies. Let me address this one. I addressed the other one about developing options. I'm gonna address this one. I'm gonna give you this one.
Okay.
One, I have never been to Alan Grunblatt's office about a deal. I just heard about this one too. For WACK100 company, because you can't do that. If you know the music business, and I'm pretty sure you do, in the podcast business, nobody can go get nobody's contract. That's the most ridiculous shit I ever heard.
Wack had been active on the social media platform Clubhouse pretty much since the beginning, when it became a semi-viral hit during the early COVID pandemic. And eventually, the app became Wack's favorite social media to use, and he would build a real business around the platform, arguably becoming synonymous with it and the main face of Clubhouse. But Clubhouse has always had a limited reach due to its strategy of being more exclusive than other social medias, giving it a much more underground vibe where news would be breaking for the first time, rather than a viral platform like Instagram where news reaches the masses. However, in 2023, Wack would start a weekly podcast with Adam22 on the No Jumper platform, giving him a much bigger reach and a perfect outlet to attack Big U.
Any truth to the rumor that you put an alleged leader or a higher up from the other side? Is there any truth to the idea that you might have leaked their address or doxed them in some way?
Who address?
We'll edit this out. Big U?
I don't know his address offhand.
Okay. That's not true. Because somebody said that to me and I was like, wow, that seems over the line.
Well, you know, they holler my address.
Oh, so it is true.
No, I don't know the direct address.
Okay.
But they
just to cap this off, what would have to happen between Big U and you to make
Listen, me and Big U know how to deal with each other, bro.
Right.
I don't even want to mention the man's name, but his little homies keep coming on.
Now, here's the thing, too. Wack, you want to say, well, I don't want to mention the man's name. I don't want to mention the man's name. You went away with the white flag of solidarity and peace because now you can't handle the pressure that's been placed upon you. But the level of disrespect that you exhibited has been extreme. You've had a lot to say about these dudes. You had a lot to say to these dudes. So now should they want to deal with you, now should they want to see you, I feel like they're well within their reasoning to feel this way about you, to, think this way about you, because when it's all said and done, bro, you keep just antagonizing. You keep picking. And eventually if you want to keep picking, you're going to get what you're looking for. You started a situation and then you wanted to tap out of it because the situation became too volatile for you and became too hostile for you. But it's ultimately your fault for getting in the fire, bro. It's hot in these kitchens. You shouldn't have been here. You shouldn't have been talking about these dudes. You shouldn't have been disrespecting these dudes. You shouldn't have been talking, oh, your mom is this, your mom, now what, your mom is this, your hood's this, your homie's that, and all that kind of stuff. You did, and you said all these things with the intention to hurt. And you did that. You got your mission accomplished. You hurt these people, and now they want to hurt you back. And now when people want to hurt you back, you want to act oblivious. You want to act like you're so confused on why anybody would want to hurt you, bro. It's because you're an A-double-double. You are an A-double-double. You feel me? Easy call.
On there in the name of him, dissing the set, dissing my neighborhood, mentioning my family. Who's important? Big U?
Big U's not.
How's he important figure in hip hop? When? Where?
I mean, he's someone who's got
Peter
connection to like almost every rapper out of LA, right?
No, wait, let's correct that, bro. Like, y'all get that dude too much credit. A lot of those connections come from guys like Suge, guys like me, guys like a few of his homeboys over there, right? That put him with people. Let's be real. What has he done in hip hop?
Okay.
If my name was on paperwork, with contracts with the police, with police cell phones, they would hang me out to dry. If one of my homeboys was told me that I snitched on him with an alias and went on record to say it, they'd hang me out to dry. If a female said that Wack baited her.
Now, with the situation, when it's all said and done, blah, 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 this, man, Smile, I don't care about ODM Slim, bro. I really don't care about ODM Slim. I need ODM Slim to find a dentist and a hygienist, and we'll go from there. But I don't care about ODM Slim. That's not what we're here to talk about. When it comes to the situation with Big U and Wack saying that Big U has no accolades, it's counterproductive because when it's the whole little 1-2 step like Sierra with they X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z, you feel me? It's just like, you know what I mean? Wack will always find a way to justify his moment at his feeling at the moment. Hear what I said. Wack will always find a way to justify his feeling at the moment. If one minute he want to praise somebody, the next minute he's tearing down the exact same thing that he was just praising. So it's weird.
Her down, locked the door, and beat her while she was pregnant. They would hang me out to dry. Now, does he get the popularity vote of the streets? Yes.
See, this is what I was just saying.
Yes.
And of course, Big U wasn't the only one who Wack was making some explosive claims about. He would also famously claim that there was a gay tape starring none other than Nipsey Hussle, as he would explain on a DJ Vlad interview.
But to be fair, then you started kind of going hard at Nipsey. You said that there's a gay.
And then Vlad said that he saw the tape or the alleged tape and there was nothing GPS about the tape. So now I'm just trying to figure out where do the lies start and stop.
Tape and like that.
Yo, Vlad, one thing you better not never do is question what come out of my mouth. You worth a lot of money. I got $5 million. You want to bet?
I know. I'm not going to bet you. I'm not going to bet you.
Hey, let's break it down to me some punk million. I got $1 million.
Okay.
Do you want to bet?
I'm not going to bet you.
Vlad, no. Because you said, right, and it didn't come out of my mouth. Hassan Campbell recorded the conversation and released it.
That's where it came out.
It's only because of me that the damn tape still ain't came out today.
So you didn't threaten to release this tape 1,000,000 times, bro. It don't exist. It don't exist. If it existed, you would have been put it out right now. How the video with you and the Yaz Yender exists and it got put out is the exact same way that would have get put out.
Then, during the Adam and Wack show, he would go further and say that Big U had wanted Wack to release the tape so that he could use it in a legal battle against Nipsey's estate, daring Big U to get out of line so that Wack can release proof of that.
Right, but guess who else seen him and wanted me to release him?
Who?
Big U.
Why?
Because Laura London wasn't cooperating with him, and he felt like he had some leeway with the baby mama that's starring in the videos.
Oh,
right?
Okay, so this is before her, right?
He can manage her. No, this is with her.
During his time with Lauren.
Yeah. So he can manage her, get her out the way, release that. Then in the flip side, he wanted me to turn around and go at the Nipsey Hussle estate and sue them for 30% of his contract. And he wanted me to make it look like I brought out his contract and now I'm going after his estate. I said, bro, check this out. I'm not releasing the tapes, right? I'm not doing that. Dude got kids. Me and Nip ain't had no problems. On Paru, we ain't had no problem. We talk.
But you done brought this up 1,000,000 times about these tapes. Now so the same person who brought the tapes up is the same person trying to save us? Like, what? The same person who brought the tapes up is the same person trying to save us? In what world does this make any type of sense? In what world is this any type of logic? In what world is this anything outside of a flu, flam, a skull dug, and a larceny?
On the phone, right? And you was just with this man every day in the studios and all this. Did you have this conversation about this 30% then? Don't wait till he die and then want to do that. That I want. It's all on my phone. I dare him to get out of line.
For the record, this tape has still never surfaced, and many people are still not convinced of its existence. Big U, on the other hand, was staying relatively quiet during this time, and at least on the surface, it seemed that he was doing good. And so was his family, with his son getting drafted into the NFL by the Los Angeles Chargers. But behind the scenes, things were about to go bad for Big U, because his trusted enforcer, Loose Cannon, had seemingly had a falling out with him. And coming into 2024, Loose Cannon's loose lips would begin to put Big U's dirt out there for the whole world to hear, as Loose would eventually begin rolling with WACK100 and appearing with him on the No Jumper podcast. On the 21st of January 2024, No Jumper released an Adam and Wack show episode where Loose Cannon made numerous explosive claims about Big U, while himself engaging in some grade A self-snitching. Loose would reveal that part of the reason he stopped trying was because he noticed he was doing shady things, referring to the dispensary robbery mentioned in the indictment, saying that he found it weird that he was sent to do robbery missions and then would later be forced to give part of the proceeds back, as well as finding it suspicious.
Now, when it's always that this dude, Loose Cannon, it's crazy how he will team up with Wack to destroy Big U, only for Wack to be his ultimate downfall and karma. That's crazy how that worked out.
That Big U would hand out guns to people and take note of the serial numbers. Most notably, Loose would claim that Big U called him, saying that Nipsey got shot, but when Loose called Nipsey, he answered and was fine. But then 30 minutes later, he would get the call that Nipsey had indeed been shot and killed. Adam would then press Loose about the story, telling him to convince the audience that this call actually happened, with Loose and his girl saying that the call can be seen in their upcoming reality TV show.
Like, the Nipsey...
And then the reality show never came out.
The story that you just told is so explosive.
Yo.
Speak to them on why they should believe you, because I guarantee that's a huge percentage of the conversation that's happening right now is people saying, I don't know a ton about you to like verify it, so and I don't have a dog in this fight.
Listen, everybody that knows me, LA and the world and stuff like that, know I'm not gonna just sit there and lie. Plus, it's on my TV show. The first episode or whatever on February 14th. Y'all gonna see the FaceTime call with me and Big U, and then
wait.
The next.
I'm gonna say too much, y'all. Y'all gonna have to tune in. Y'all gonna have to tune into the show.
The following day, Brick Baby would be part of the No Jumper News show, and as a self-admitted Rollin 60s member who seemingly was still fairly close with Big U, he would seemingly be mad at Luce for his wild stories about Big U, deciding to attack Luce Cannon back, accusing him of being the police, as well as questioning why Luce wouldn't mention to Nipsey that someone had just said he had been killed if the story really happened.
You act like you was coming to say that story to be for Nipsey.
Yeah, that's weird too, because if you thought that something was going to happen in Nip, and you thought that somebody had, just put his life in danger, why wouldn't you have mentioned that to that man should you have the chance to speak to him before his demise? No, I just said, I love you, cuz, and, we homies, and, I'm your homie forever, cuz. That's all I said, cuz, because I'm Loose Cannon the dummy, cuz. Like, come on, bro, that doesn't make sense. That's just a whole Flu Flamer, Skull Douglas, Larson situation. Come on, brother.
You sat there and lied. You were supposed to be exposing Big U or whoever you was talking about as being a rat or informant and all that, but you told every crime that you ever did alleged around this dude, nigga, on a camera. You come in here trying to expose, trying to show internal. You're not from the set. You never got put on the set. Nowhere around it. And you talk about it gave you a drop on when Nipsey was about to get killed, and you didn't even mention it to Nipsey. What type of friend are you at this point, Shark?
But Brick wouldn't end it there. He would also attack Luce on his own YouTube and Instagram accounts, calling him the goofy of the year who's mad and lying because he can't come back to the hood, and that he's never even met Luce before, and that he's not from Rollin 60s.
Luce Cannon got the Goofy of the Year award this year. Like, all that lying because you can't come back to the section. Come on, man. All the homies said you's a goof troop. Can't come back around. And on 6 I just did my research. Boom. I never heard where you said when you see me, you go, man, I've never met you. On the dead homies, I ain't never met you. You the same just ran from my white boy in Vegas. At the Red Rock Casino. 6 trying to use names as passes and all that. Tell cuz 6 cuz no bueno, cuz get right up out of there. You've never seen me, cuz 6 you don't know nothing about me, cuz 6 you didn't grow up with us or nothing. Who is Big Loose Cannon?
It's crazy though, because Brick and Loose Cannon did end up being cool at the end. So all this was kind of, I ain't gonna say for nothing, but something changed at the end to where these feelings became a little bit different.
We gonna start there. Who is Big Loose Cannon? 6 Let's get this clear right now, man. Loose Cannon is not from 60s. There's too many stories talk about the boy Loose Cannon from 60s. Loose Cannon is not from 60s. Never been put on. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Don't be late.
Sometime later, Luce would allegedly play the call that Big U had made to him only moments before Nipsey's death.
Of course. Listen, I'm about to play it to you right now. Right now on loudspeaker because I had to plug in my speakers. Put up. You heard that, right? I'm gonna play it again.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm gonna play it louder. So, let's right now. Put up. You heard it, right?
And you know what, brother? You ain't gonna rack my brain. You ain't gonna rack my brain on that, bro. You know. But
that is wild, right there. Nephew Nipsey got killed, nigga. That was not real audio. Y'all boys are sick. Y'all some sick individuals.
You saying if you got belief behind that, man, that's your push, bro.
Now, many people have suggested that that was simply a low-quality AI, but regardless of how flimsy Luce's claims were, Adam22 and No Jumper would receive a cease and desist letter from Big U demanding they remove the video material of Luce and Wack discussing his possible involvement in Nipsey's murder. The No Jumper crew would discuss it during one of their episodes, during which Brick Baby would make fun of Luce's supposed recording, calling it out as a fake, after which Adam would make a prophetic prediction saying that he needs to see much more proof from Luce, but if Big U would end up getting arrested in like 6 months' time, that would certainly make Luce's statement seem a lot more credible. And as we know, Big U would indeed end up getting arrested, although this would happen almost exactly 1 year after Adam's prediction.
I feel like that episode was out for like 2 months. And I've been awaiting proof of what was said about the Big U thing. And I haven't really seen any proof. Now, maybe it just hasn't been brought to my attention. And for sure, okay, fast forward.
Did you hear the AI?
It doesn't exist.
No. What was that?
Go ahead. Let you finish the fast
forward. What was the AI?
So he made an AI of, he was on live with Eddie Boy. And he made like an AI. He like, I'm finna play you a clip.
You think Loose
like,
Cannon made it?
Yeah, it said,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
nephew, Nipsey dead. That's all it said.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah. And he like played this on Clubhouse or something?
He played it on live. It was Instagram Live or something.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, Loose Cannon, I'm not saying you're a liar or anything. I'm just saying I need to see further proof. Now, let's say fast forward 6 months. Big U gets arrested. This is hypothetically for these acts.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, that interview becomes completely fair game, and it's an important historical record. And like we all have to look at it and say, "Oh my God, Loose Cannon, I'm so sorry. We all misjudged you. You're a genius. You were telling the truth the whole time."
Too bad that didn't come out to be the actualities of the case.
However, many continue to cast doubt on Loose's claim about the phone call, as he would never end up showing video proof of it in his reality show The Baddie and the Beast, as he promised. For example, Street TV would release a long video breaking down all the different reasons why he thought the calls between Big U and Loose and Nipsey never happened, with perhaps the most outlandish fact presented in the video being that Loose has also told another version of the story, where it was allegedly Nipsey who called Loose shortly before his murder, supposedly to tell him that he wanted Loose Cannon to take over and continue his musical legacy, because somehow he knew he was going to die. This story appearing so comically fake that it would seemingly even leave the interviewer almost speechless.
In reality, when Loose Cannon said that, it's like, bro, are you slow or do you think that we're slow? Or like, come on, because you're not fast. Because you're just not fast. You think we slow? Because brother, you not fast.
Producing and stuff, and then when I figured out, like right before Nip died, he was like, "You got a voice. You need to take over and finish what I'm doing." And I was like, "What are you talking about, cuz?"
Nip told you that?
Yeah. So it was like 30 minutes before he died.
Well, how did he tell you? Through a text or what happened?
No phone call. He called me.
Wow. Why do you think Nip would have said something like that?
I don't know. I just figured that he knew he was gonna die.
So he called you and said you need to finish off where he left off?
Yeah, he was like, "Nobody's like you, cuz."
Now that is true. Nobody's like Loose Cannon. That is one thing that is for sure true.
These jealous, they envious of you. I love what you're doing. I love you, little bro. And then 30 minutes later, he died.
There would also be a very aggressive but hilarious phone call between Loose and Brick Baby, where Brick Baby would pressure Loose to tell when he had his put on to the Rollin 60s gang, clearly claiming that Loose was not a real member and once again lying about his credentials, before yelling that he has more bodies than Loose has squabbles or fights, cementing Brick's image as the proud founder of the Kill Squad, the menacing name for Brick's fanbase.
Adam, what's up?
Hey, Loose Cannon, I'm here live on the No Drama Show.
Kill Squad, it's crazy.
Brick Baby and Lush. Brick Baby is requesting some information regarding your put on.
Hey, can you give us like at least 2 names from your put on and what block? I ain't never seen you at no meeting at Hyde Park, Horseman, or at 54th. When did you get put on?
Baby, when did
you get put on? I got put on in 2002. I got put out in 2002 on Eileen Street at June House. You know what's up. Yeah, dead homie. So when you get put on?
No, you haven't, bro. You been in
man, cuz Hillbilly was a part of my put on. Killer Dave was a part of my put on. Oh, the dead homies. My first name was Baby Wild Bill. On the dead homies at Izzy turned East Coast. That was the third I squabbled. Who did you squabble, gang? Come on, bro. I got more murders than you got squabbles in the hood. Dead homies.
Interestingly,
jeez, too far. Too far.
In the lead up to the RICO arrest, a bizarre incident would take place where Brick and Loose allegedly ran into each other at a Las Vegas Airbnb. But to everyone's surprise, despite them both claiming to be looking to catch each other slipping, there was no violence between them. Looking back, this is bizarre considering how much they
Now, that's the part that made it strange to me. When them dudes was cool when they saw each other, I was confused.
publicly hated each other. This chance encounter in Las Vegas, where they did nothing but talk, didn't really make any sense. yet. But soon, things would get even more strange, as Wack seemingly got word of the investigation into the 2021 Las Vegas murder of Rayshawn Williams, passing the information to people in his clubhouse circle to investigate for a murder mystery show on his 100 side show.
This murder mystery was on Rayshawn Williams, a young artist with life, ambition, everything to that nature. He was found dead in the Apex Desert, which is a little northeast of Las Vegas. His body had a lot of gunshot wounds, one being in the head, and it was described as execution style. We know that he was last seen alive communicating with key figures such as Big U, and somewhere between these final texts and everything like that, this is where it's weird. We went over the physical evidence, such as the DNA under his nails.
Now, that's the part that ended up being a lie. You're talking about you went over the physical evidence, and that just goes to show you how these people on Clubhouse will speak so candidly and be absolutely wrong, because you talking about DNA under the nails and all that kind of stuff. There actually wasn't any DNA under the nails. None of that was actually shown in real life.
Possible GSR, but it never got tested. A missing phone. I mean, all of this raises so many questions. We even had suspects who emerged from this case, whether they were friends, mentors, and even those within his own circle. But the real question still remains: who had the real motive? Or even, to be honest with you, there's a lot of people in this case and a lot of key factors. The motive was there, but who was ballsy enough to do it? Who had the opportunity and who had the power to cover all of that up? Theories and our final suspect breakdowns look as, did Big U play a role with this? And if he did, what happened in those final moments?
Been in and out, but I don't know what the you been doing in here. But my goddamn phone going crazy.
Really? By who?
Hit me. They didn't found all kind of race shop. So what is this? Mother and the sister. They on my line right now.
Oh no.
And this is when Wack comes in and pretends like he doesn't know what's happening. Oh, really? Oh, really? The mom and it? What? Oh, man, that's crazy. Okay, what's going on?
My line heavy.
That is so crazy. Shout out to the media too. I wasn't even expecting
The mother told me, you ready for this?
What's T?
She used to be the team mom for the Crenshaw Colts.
This would set the wheels in motion for the information.
So now this is Wack snitching in open time and relating it to Big U.
To spread further, one key person in this saga would be 600, aka Christopher Lovejoy. 600 grew up in the Crenshaw district with the Rollin 60s.
I'm from South Central Los Angeles, the West Side, Crenshaw district, Hyde Park, California, Rollin 60s. I'm from where they made most of the movies is at. My neighborhood and my life story is kind of like Ricky and Boys in the Hood. I'm not the one who got shot. You know what I'm saying?
Later on, he would become a heavyweight boxer with an impressive looking but much criticized record that he made by mostly fighting in Mexico. And more recently, he's become known as the manager of none other than 55th Street legend Crip Mac, before also going viral in his own right as a social media content creator who some have accused of working for the police due to his controversial takes, particularly...
No, he's a cop for sure.
In the lead up to Big U's arrest. Because while 600 is from the same hood as Big U, he also had a falling out with him, much like Loose Cannon. So when he would become privy to the information regarding Rayshawn Williams' murder investigation, 600 would speak out, posting clips of a phone conversation between Wack and Rayshawn's family, where the family would give inside info about the case, like telling how Big U's DNA had allegedly been found under Rayshawn's fingernails, and 600 wasn't seemingly deterred even by the fact that Rayshawn's mother would call him during his YouTube live on the 11th of March, pleading with him to stop talking about her son.
You're on the hotline with Papa.
Yeah, you know exactly who this is.
You telling me I know who this is? You said what?
This is Rayshawn Williams' mother.
Okay, what's going on? How would I know who you were?
Can y'all please stop talking about my son?
What do you mean? Well, this is what you gotta understand. Whenever something is online,
It's Rayshawn Williams' mother.
okay, listen what I'm saying. Whenever things are online, things get spread around online. So that's just whoever put things online first. That's who needs to get it. Now, I haven't spoken to you in years. Am I wrong?
Anybody that's calling you, asking you the information, don't get him, bro.
Okay.
And I'm serious.
Okay.
Don't piss me the off. So anybody that's hitting you up, asking you any information about my boy, and they don't have it.
No, know what? Nobody never asked me about him though.
They don't know nothing. It's none of their business.
No, nobody knows
No, I don't think that this was a real call because he lies so much. Should that have really been his kid's mom, she does deserve the piece of letting her son rest. And I can understand how she's not feeling her son being used for such ignorant comment and content.
Nobody never asked me nothing about him.
However, the mother would also say F Big U multiple times, making it clear how she felt about him.
But I don't think that was the mom. I really don't, because these dudes lie so much. I have a hard time believing that was the mom for real.
And I'm serious because this starting to piss me off with everybody. And yeah, I said it, Big U.
Okay.
And this is Rayshawn Williams' mama, Big.
And that's the thing too. Why didn't she say her name? This is Rayshawn Williams' mama. This is Rayshawn Williams' mama. Why wouldn't she say her actual name? Why would she keep referring to herself as Rayshawn Williams' mama? That's the part that just really didn't make sense to me.
You. Yeah, I said it. And I want everybody to know how the I feel. Him, his kids, and his wife. Yeah, I said it. Damn. And stop speaking up on my boy. Period.
Wack would also continue to discuss this case on his Clubhouse show, and in mid-March, they would drop a bombshell by letting everyone know that the feds were coming for Big U at the end of the month. This information coming also directly...
This is the part that's sick, because they said it, and then it happened.
Off the call between Wack and Rayshawn's family, with Wack and 600 saying that they went against the investigation, and apparently also Rayshawn's family by putting the call out in order to give Big U a warning to get running.
Understand, when the family is telling us this, that means their investigation is already done. Like, whatever they're doing, they already doing. It's done, though. Now, the family, they told the street. Unfortunately, I felt withholding this is cooperating with the police. I'd have played this. He was arrested. They like, oh, Wack, you knew they was coming. You didn't say nothing, and you would have been right. All the way right. The family's still cussing me out. Why did you play that? Why did you tell me?
This phone call between Wack and Rayshawn's family, specifically his sister and mother, would turn out to be a treasure trove of information, revealing that not only the cops were coming for Big U, but also that the DA was allegedly planning on putting both the murder of Rayshawn and the murder of Nipsey into the same case.
What year did your brother? And it's crazy because that didn't happen either. That didn't happen either. That's another situation that Wack swore was going to happen that actually never actually happened. Full lie.
When your brother killed?
My brother was killed in 22.
So it took them 3 years to do DNA?
Mm-hmm. They said that Big U was running for a long time. Like, he didn't want to.
That doesn't make sense because if Big U had already been in the penitentiary system, they would already have his DNA. So that doesn't make sense either.
Take the DNA test.
So,
yeah, they
wait,
found his DNA test in my brother's nails.
Okay, so, ooh, that's bad work.
So that means my brother fought. When I told you that Big U had popped up at my brother Airbnb.
In Vegas?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And the best friend was there or whatever, but the best friend said that he didn't want to talk to my brother in front of him, so he pulled my brother upstairs to the side. He said that he knew something was going on because when Big U left and my brother came, when Big U left the Airbnb and my brother came back downstairs, he said his whole energy was off.
Dad, did they find your brother? Next day or next couple days?
The next day.
When did the test come back? When did the DNA come back?
It came back 2 months ago.
And they still ain't arrested him?
Well, they told me between me and you, please.
It's going to be between me and you when it's on the internet. That doesn't make sense. How is it between me and you when it's clearly on the internet? This whole conversation is being recorded for the internet for public consumption. How is any of this between me and you? It's between all of us.
Between me and you. Don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know. They're going to be making an arrest the ending of March, the beginning of April.
Well, I promise Wack won't tell nobody. He's just going to tell everybody.
Basically going to put his case and Nipsey Hussle case. together.
Interestingly, Wack was playing both sides in a way that would keep his hands clean. On the one hand, strategically exposing this information that would lead to the takedown of his enemy Big U, but also suggesting that by airing this private information out publicly, he was actually keeping it street and giving a public warning to Big U so that he had time to potentially escape. But in the midst of Wack exposing all these details, he would suddenly fall out with Loose Cannon. Interestingly, this led to a podcast that shocked everyone, where former enemies Loose Cannon and Brick Baby would suddenly appear together on No Jumper, this time apparently uniting against Wack. However, Loose would have a hard time explaining why exactly he was mad at Wack, with his initial explanation being that it was all to do with Wack commenting on an apparent arrest in Loose's neighborhood that was falsely attributed to be targeting Loose, with Loose seemingly rambling around in circles and not really being able to say exactly why he was mad at Wack specifically.
My brother, Wack, right, run content on me on Clubhouse, and then you got everybody on YouTube spin a narrative and say that, oh, you lying. You get what I'm saying? Because of Wack insecurities with himself. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it was like, nah, because we can't do that.
So you felt like Wack was putting fake narratives on you because he almost instantly after this clip came out of your wife saying that your house was surrounded by cops or whatever, he almost instantly starts spreading the narrative that it's not true.
Yeah.
And he's really stuck to that, which is interesting because that means that you and him are not seeing eye to eye, that you couldn't convince him one way or the other, or have you not really talked since then?
No, I talked to Wack, and then I told him, he was like, I didn't say that. I said, listen, bro, you read the wrong thing because there was 3 SWAT teams available. One at 3.
Oh, when you called them?
Yeah. So, no, shut the. So one at 3 a.m., one at 5 a.m., and then one at 10 a.m. Where they call swatting. So we had like the Las Vegas News Bulletin, pull it. They did the research and they came to it. So when Wack say it, okay, listen. So when Wack say it or whatever, he spread the narrative that I was lying because of we had a business dealing that day. So he thought that I was just trying to get out of it. Get out of it. So when he did that, it was like, okay, yeah,
that'd be a pretty drastic way to get out of a business meeting.
A business
wouldn't it?
meeting, it was goofy. So when that happened, it's like, bro, you ran content on me. So when you ran content on me, you actually ran content because my wife posted it. Do you get what I'm saying? So you don't have no respect for me or her. So at the end of the day, it's like I took it personal.
I want to know what narrative. I'm gonna say it again, right? I repeated what your wife said. If I would have known for real, if I would have.
Now, Wack and Loose Cannon have a very interesting relationship, but it's also extremely interesting how Wack has beef with a lot of these dudes, and then either they get cool with them or they kind of like fake fight back, and then the conversations are had behind closed doors, and then it's nothing. It's interesting how they always play out. It just never seems to all the way come to fruition.
Watch you go to jail. I still would have told the world you ain't in jail. Only thing I did was I repeated what your wife said. I said, listen, she never said it was her house. She said the streets blocked off. She never said he's in jail. She said, I hope he's at a...
But
that's when Wack exposed Loose Cannon for lying about going to jail, and Loose Cannon got mad at Wack for lying about him. I remember that.
Wack, you said RP Loose Cannon when they was reading the articles. So when you say that,
no, I said there's no way that could be him because the article they read, they said is dead, shot themselves, and I said it would be RIP Loose Cannon, and he not dead because Loose. Remember, I'm gonna remind you of something. I ducked everybody all day. I didn't go to Clubhouse till 6 p.m. That's a 6 o'clock room. You had already texted me. Remember? I knew you all right. You texted me.
Okay, so basically you said it, and then what about when the 600 running content?
You could show me what I ran content on you, bro. Why you keep saying that?
Okay, so listen.
Show me.
Listen, we're gonna take care of those deals, right? But let's do it on the Adam and Wack show, and we play the content, and let people judge. And wait, we let the people judge because if you right, no, Wack, if you right, on Dead Homies, I get it on here and I apologize. But if the comments say that I'm right,
so Loose was really mad at Wack
Loose Cannon is upset. You can hear his voice cracking. You can hear everything. He is pissed. That is an angry turtle. That is an angry turtle.
For enabling 600 to expose the Big U murder case because Luce was going to be implicated in the whole gang conspiracy, but Luce didn't want to admit it at this point, so he chose a convoluted excuse.
That makes sense why Loose Cannon was mad about it. Damn. I never thought about that, Trap Lord Ross. That explains so much of why Loose Cannon was so upset about this. Damn. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's a good one.
Saying that he was mad at Wack for commenting on the arrest that took place in Luce's neighborhood, but Luce would eventually let loose that it was 600's commentary on the Big U murder case that had really pissed him off. And Luce would even threaten to kill 600 in the interview, with Wack saying that he's not responsible for what 600 puts out there.
That's what I can't do. You running content on him, he run. I've been on him the last couple of days. You notice he ain't really did. I've been telling him don't feed into it. But you running it on
Cuz would die around with me.
Okay, but what if
60 crib? Like we can't even go there, Wack, because this is not the same type of I am. I would get Cuz out of here before summertime. Neighborhood crib.
Well, here go the question: how often do all be in front of 600?
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not negating this situation that. We around 600 maybe once every 6 months, right? But
Adam, can you stop Brick Baby from doing what he gonna do on his phone?
No, he's his own man.
I can't stop him from responding and doing what you know.
But you should tell 600 if he play with Loose Cannon, Cuz gonna die.
And it would later emerge that even Wack was
probably not the best thing to say on social media, considering your current situation. But, you know, we see where Loose Cannon is now. We see where these kind of talks have gotten Loose Cannon. And, just, man, none of this aged well. Like, none of this aged well. All this definitely proved to be flammery, skullduggery, and larceny. All of this proved to be the fluence of the flammery, of the skullless of the duggery, of the larceny of the larceny. Because Loose Cannon is, by all definition of the word, an idiot, for sure. Like, he is a more Ron, but, you know, he tries. He tries. I think Loose Cannon tries his best with what he has, but in actuality, we know that Loose Cannon needs his phone confiscated immediately.
Confused as to why
my nigga Sweetie
Luce was panicking so much about Wack exposing Big U's murder case. Perhaps at that time unaware of Luce's proximity to Big U's past crimes, but the panic had been spreading for quite some time. In an earlier podcast, when Brick was asked about Big U's murder investigation, after Wack texted in and claimed that Brick had told him about Big U's case first, he would also panic, walking off the podcast and refusing to talk about open murder cases.
Emergency bulletin, WACK100 text me. Be fake as Brick the one who told 600 first.
Who? About what?
About Big U's alleged body, maybe?
Huh?
I don't know.
Call Wack. Man, that say whatever. I told 600 about an alleged body.
You got a pie?
Wait, what did Brick tell?
The first that warned.
Wait, what did Brick tell 600?
June 23rd, 2023, when the police.
This is sick. This is sick. This is sick. This is sick. This whole everything is just absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
Hit Brick Baby's house and you bailed him out. Called 600 and told 600 they on Cuz bumper. Big U got some problems coming. Now, I don't think Brick Baby knew what the they was talking about, but he mentioned talking about some in Las Vegas. Nobody knew.
Man, he's a fool, cuz on the dead homies. I ain't called no. Hey, man, you said that I called him about somebody. Man, you's a fool, boy. On the dead homies. You sound crazy to the.
Months later in August, bro, we've been told this story years some ago.
Why are you even talking? Why are you talking about something about a murder? How do a gangbanger get to talk about a murder on the big screen? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what part of that's cool to y'all?
Let me answer the question.
Now, that's the part about it that was always confusing to me when it comes to these dudes, because, yeah, how is a so-called gangster talking about these things on the big screen? These things are not meant for the big screen.
What? No, it ain't no. It's no. It's go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If that's the case,
I
all
don't
you
even want to
motherfuckers
talk
up
about
there,
that.
what's on the internet?
What's on the internet? None of that's on the internet. What are you talking about? Don't nobody even want to talk about that type of shit. Because this is an argument that I'm willing to turn down right now and walk off screen. Like, what are you even talking about? Don't try to tie me into no police that you doing. You are doing police. You're talking about something. I ain't never said nothing about no DNA. And oh man, what the are you talking about? You see that this posted? The only way y'all know that is because you is the police, gang. That, man, hell no. What are you even? How? I'm gonna tell him. I told him about the that he talking about right now.
Hold on.
Man, you done lost your mind, boy.
Okay, watch this.
So I don't even know who the person is. So how the I'm gonna tell you who it is? I've never met the person, didn't know the name.
Man, he said told 600 in private and Wack made sure it was public.
Don't know nothing about Ned around this. This talk about the family.
We got 600. Everybody be quiet. 600.
Bro, I'm not
we got
gonna
600
talk
on the
about.
line.
Listen, I'm not talking about big. Listen, Adam. I'm finna walk off the phone. I'm not talking about no.
Wait, I just want to hear. Let's hear what 600 says.
Y'all doing some get politics
about a murder in Vegas that people might be tied to.
All right, breaks walking away.
There you go.
Why would you want to talk about an open murder on camera, though? That's incredible. That makes sense for Brick Baby to walk away from the situation.
I never knew nothing about that. Like, I that kid. I never even knew he died till Brick Baby told me that.
The Brick and Loose podcast was a legendary moment for the fans that had been following this beef closely for the past couple of years. People couldn't believe that these long-running enemies were united and willing to sit down after all of this tension. The podcast did phenomenal numbers, but nobody could have prepared for what was about to come the next day, because something wasn't adding up. The beef between Wack and Loose Cannon didn't quite make sense until the very next day when the feds would close in, delivering a sweeping series of arrests that targeted over a dozen Rollin 60s members and affiliates, including Loose Cannon and Brick Baby. But for the time being, Big U would remain on the run after being tipped off by Wack in clubhouse and podcast debates. And so as the days went by...
Now, here's the thing about that. If he was in fact tipped off by Wack, which you all saw that he was, how come Wack wasn't arrested for obstruction of justice to helping a federal fugitive? That's a pretty serious crime. Helping somebody who's on the run from the feds elude them is a pretty serious crime, which we now know is a federal crime. So why was Wack never picked up for that?
Handcuffs went on suspects and the criminal complaint emerged publicly, and soon the whole world would know the shocking details about the years-long conspiracy that took down one of LA's most infamous gangs. The years leading up to 2019, a crew named EBK, short for Everybody Killer.
All right, man. So Trap Lord Ross gave us some news we could use, man. So now we ain't finna get nobody's college. We finna get up out of here to the next one. Y'all can make sure to continue to stay kicking it with us, man. Y'all know how I go, though. Red dots to the left, you know the rest. Chat. We gonna just break this down piece by piece, man. Keith, you go ahead and check this whole thing out from the beginning, man. We just gave y'all a cool little almost 2 hours. The no jumper curse, man. The no jumper curse, man. The no jumper curse. No jumper curse. All right, let me see something.
Hey, Carjack 100 here. If you need your transmission check, come on down to Carjack's. I'm your transmission expert.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that content. We heard the cries, we heard the complaints. Now we don't got no intro, but we do got an outro with the same information, man. Make sure that you are tapped in. Make sure you dropping comments. Make sure you dropping likes. Make sure you subscribing to everything we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network, because we will be giving away some more Chiliana once we hit that 40,000 membership, 40,000 subscriber, threshold. We're gonna make sure that we give y'all some Chiliana, man. So make sure that y'all stay tapped in. Make sure y'all stay looking out. Make sure y'all stay right here at TNN Trap News Network. The news you can use, the knowledge you're not finna get in nobody's college. Hit a like, hit a comment, hit a good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We're gonna keep you updated on what's going on these YouTube streets. You already know the deal, man. If you enjoyed this content, throw the red dot to the left. You know the rest. We gone.
Hi, I'm WACK100. When I'm not snitching on the internet, I'm snitching in real life for your own personal home security. Call 1-800-WACK-ATTACK. We're first, law enforcement second.
Hey, I'm Adam22. Got an extra soul laying around? Be like Doughboy and WACK100 and sell yours today. One soul equals a lot of clout.
Apollo Texas. It's dangerous. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboard. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let him hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall. 81 point strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell us. Gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's outside, nigga.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboard. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Just made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Friends is hella fake, I know we're enemies. Intentions, I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we didn't get from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Safe like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous.